Once upon a time, in the heart of a lush jungle, there lived a mighty lion named Luma. Now, Luma wasn't just any lion. He was known throughout the jungle for his bravery, his strength, and his warm heart. One particularly bright and hot day, Luma decided to take a break from the midday heat. He found a shady spot under an old, gnarled tree and lay down. He reached out with his paw, gently brushing aside a leaf and using it as a fan. Sighing contentedly, he thought to himself, "Ah, this is the life." Just then, a gentle trumpet echoed through the trees. It was Ella, the wise and gentle elephant. She lumbered into the clearing, her ears flapping slowly, like two weathered flags in a gentle breeze. She had a big smile on her face, and her tusks gleamed like polished ivory in the dappled sunlight. As she approached, Luma lifted his head to greet her. "Well met, Ella," he rumbled. "What brings you to this part of the jungle today?" "I was just coming from the watering hole," Ella replied, "and I saw a small turtle stuck in the mud. With a little effort, I was able to pull him out and set him free." Luma nodded understandingly. Helping those in need was a value they both held dear. But then a sudden rush of wind and the distinct thud of paws on the ground announced the arrival of another jungle resident. It was Zuri, the cheetah, the fastest creature in the jungle. She came to a halt in front of them, her lithe body tensed and ready to spring back into action. Her eyes, like golden coins, glinted with speed and excitement. "Why did you stop to help?" she asked, her voice quick and sharp like the flick of her tail. "You could be doing so many faster things." And with that, she was off again, her laughter echoing through the trees. Luma shook his head, a low rumble of amusement in his chest. "That sounds like the cheetah speaking," he said, chuckling softly. Always in a hurry, never stopping to lend a helping paw, Ella smiled serenely. She turned to Luma, her eyes twinkling with wisdom. "That might be true, Luma, but sometimes the fastest way is also the kindest. Helping someone in need doesn't have to slow us down. It can actually make us stronger and wiser." Intrigued, Luma asked, "How can helping others make us stronger and wiser?" Before Ella could reply, a small voice piped up. "Because it gives you experience in solving problems. You learn new skills and gain knowledge about the world around you." The two animals looked down and saw the little turtle standing on his hind legs. He was small, but his words were wise beyond his years. "Well, hello there, wise one," said Ella with a playful smile. "It seems you were listening to our conversation." "Of course I was," the turtle replied. "I might be small, but I'm not slow, and besides, I love learning new things. That's why I always listen to the conversations of the animals around me." "You never know what you might learn," Luma chuckled, surprised by the turtle's intelligence. "Indeed, you are a wise little fellow. But tell me, how did you find your way out of the mud without anyone's help?" he asked. "Oh, that was easy," the turtle replied with a shrug. "All I had to do was wait for the right moment, then use my strong legs to kick myself free. It was nothing." Luma exchanged a look with Ella. They had been so focused on helping the turtle that they hadn't stopped to think about his solution. "Well, we certainly learned a valuable lesson today," Ella said, a soft smile gracing her lips. Sometimes all someone needs is a little faith in themselves. The cheetah, who had been watching them from a nearby tree, couldn't help but feel a pang of embarrassment. She realized that her earlier words had been harsh and unhelpful. Gathering her courage, she approached the group, her tail no longer held high in arrogance, but tucked between her legs in submission. "I'm sorry," she whispered, her voice losing its usual sharpness. "I didn't mean what I said before. I've always valued speed above all else. But being fast doesn't make me kinder or smarter. And sometimes being kind and patient like you, Ella, makes you stronger than the fastest cheetah." Touched by the cheetah's humility, Ella placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "It's all right, Zuri, we've all made mistakes. What matters most is that you're here now, ready to learn and grow. And remember, speed isn't always the answer. Sometimes kindness and patience can take you just as far." The animals stood together in silence for a moment, each lost in thought. The weight of Ella's words echoed in their ears, reminding them that true strength wasn't just about physical prowess, but also about compassion and understanding. As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the jungle floor, the animals started to stir. It was time to move on. The cheetah stretched her lithe body, readying herself for a night of hunting. "Thank you, Ella," she said softly. "I think I needed this lesson today." With a final nod, the cheetah was off, her light form a blur of golden fur against the darkening trees. Luma watched her go, a thoughtful expression on his face. Then he turned to Ella, a newfound respect in his eyes. "You are indeed wise beyond your years, my friend," he rumbled. "Your words have touched us all, and I believe the whole jungle is a better place because of them." Ella smiled gently, her eyes shining with warmth. "We all have our strengths and weaknesses, Luma. It's what makes us unique. And together, we can create a stronger, kinder jungle for everyone." And so the animals went their separate ways, each carrying the lessons of the day in their hearts. The mighty lion, the graceful cheetah, and the wise little turtle, each playing their part in the grand symphony of the jungle. As for Ella, the elephant, she continued on her path, her ears flapping gently in the evening breeze. She walked slowly, savoring the feeling of the soft earth beneath her feet. Her trunk swayed rhythmically, a gentle reminder of her strength and grace. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Ella came across the watering hole. The animals gathered there, thirsty from a day of playing and exploring. With a gentle trumpet, Ella announced her arrival, and the animals parted to let her in. She lowered her trunk, scooped up some water, and sprayed it into the air. A fine mist rose, sparkling in the last rays of sunlight. The other animals drank their fill, quenching their thirst and satisfying their hunger. The baby animals, full of energy, splashed and played while their parents watched with amusement. Among them was the little turtle. He had grown so much since the day Ella had saved him from the mud. He was a bit bigger, a bit stronger, but most importantly, a bit wiser. He remembered Ella's words, helping someone in need doesn't have to slow us down. It can actually make us stronger and wiser. He looked at Ella with admiration and gratitude. He knew that without her help, he might still be stuck in that muddy patch, scared and alone. As the night deepened and the stars twinkled overhead, the animals gradually dispersed, heading back to their homes for a night of rest. Ella watched them go, a sense of contentment filling her heart. She had been right. Helping others wasn't just about lending a hand. It was about enriching lives, fostering connections, and making the world a better place. She had made the jungle a better place. And as the moon bathed the jungle in its silvery light, Ella the elephant walked towards her home, her steps lighter, her spirit higher. She knew that every act of kindness, no matter how small, could make a world of difference in someone's life. The jungle was their home, and they were its heart. And as long as they remembered these lessons, their home would thrive. And so the legend of Ella the elephant, the wisest and kindest creature in the jungle, echoed through the ages, reminding all who heard it that true strength lay not in power or might, but in the warmth of compassion and the quiet dignity of helping others.